Paranormal in Pennsylvania may discuss topics such as suicide, murder, and other potentially upsetting things. Listener discretion is advised. Okay. Hello, and welcome to Paranormal in Pennsylvania,
where we discuss history and hauntings.
Today's story takes us to Pond Bank. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Erica.
Let's get into it. So today we're talking about the White Lady of Pond Bank. And this is a listener referral. The username of the person that brought it to us is named Aaron Eckel. So thank you, Aaron, for referring this to us. I looked it up and it's a local legend, but it's apparently a really big deal. And this is one of those, I think, local legends in Pennsylvania. I put locals in quotes because it seems like people talk about it across the state and even sometimes in other states.
That's really cool. I also really like the concept of like white ladies and like ladies in black and things like that. Like I think those are so interesting because usually I know like we talk sometimes about like what those things mean generally if you see them. Like I forget what you've said before, a lady in white usually like missing something.
Yeah, it's searching for something.
Yes, but then each one of them has their own unique story and their own unique tale of what's happened in their life.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking back to when we collabed with Twice the Terror. I think that was way back in season 2.
Yeah.
And we talked about the White Lady of Whoopsie.
Yes.
And she was like the carriage crash and stuff like that. So yeah, I always think it's interesting. What are they looking for? What's their story? So we're going to blend history and paranormal for this one because it's kind of hard to separate that out.
Right.
The story takes place in Franklin Township, Pennsylvania. And the woman in white here is the White Lady of Pond Bank. She's known as the White Lady or even the White Witch, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because normally these women are like wives or mothers, like a very traditional female type thing.
Yes.
Witch, to me, goes against that because it goes against like the helplessness of looking for something because witches are powerful.
Yes.
So that's really interesting. She appears near the village of Pond Bank and in South Mountain, which is a different location.
Oh, okay. So 2 different locations then.
Yeah, and I think that that's really interesting. She's known as the White Lady of Pond Bank regardless of where she shows up. But she seems to manifest in these 2 locations in the same way, like looks the same way, behaves the same way, so people think it's the same spirit.
How far are the locations like away from each other?
They're close. It's not like on opposite sides of the state.
Okay.
So they're close-ish. She's said to appear as a ghost dressed in a flowing white dress, as is so common with Lady in White.
Yes.
But here's where it gets, I'll say, straight up scary. She's known not just to appear to cars that are passing by, but to jump on their hoods.
That's terrifying.
I know. Normally it's like they'll appear in the middle of the road and you swerve to hit them, to not hit them and stuff. She's straight up jumping on your hood.
Which I don't I don't even know how I would react. Because here's the thing. If I saw, a spirit just in the middle of the road, to me that almost might be more dangerous for me. Because if I try to swerve, I might go right off the road, right? But if you're seeing a spirit just jump onto your car, what you're probably going to do is brake. So in theory, it might actually be safer for me.
I'm going to hard disagree with that. I think the idea of, quite honestly, anything jumping on my hood while I'm driving would make me lose control of my vehicle.
Well, maybe that's fair too,
Because especially if you're on a highway, like if you're going fast, you're not just going to brake. And I don't know that it is a highway, but
That's fair. Yeah, like if you see a deer, you're not supposed to brake. Like if you know you're going to hit it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a fair point too. I guess either way it's scary, but yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I would jump high enough that like I would lose control of the vehicle.
Yeah, I think I would just be losing my mind. So, I don't know.
Does it make a noise? I'm assuming yes.
Jumping on the hood of your car?
Right.
Well, I don't know. It didn't say in the research. I don't know. That's interesting. Listeners, let us know.
Yeah.
Would you rather swerve to miss a spirit or have a spirit jump on your car? Which one? Because we're divided. It does happen when driving through dense forest. So it could be one of those like local highway type vibes is what I'm picturing, you know? So I don't
in the
know.
back roads.
Sometimes she doesn't show up, or she doesn't jump up. She'll just show up.
Okay.
So she can present both ways, but the most common presentation is jumping onto the hood of the car.
I wonder what the distinction is.
I really don't know. It's because it's like a change in the whole demeanor of the spirit to
Yes.
aggressive.
Right, yeah. It's almost as if the ones where she isn't jumping, she just didn't see the car.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's
And then as soon
could
as
be.
she sees it, it's like, that's when she jumps.
Yeah. We both should have worn white dresses for this episode.
We should have. I'm
That's a
like the
missed opportunity.
complete opposite of what I should have worn. That's my bad.
That's what I just thought about it right now. Because I was like, we could reenact it. Like,
Yeah. Wait, I could be the road.
and
Just for everyone not watching, I'm in like all black.
yeah.
It just needed a yellow stripe up my face and then it would have been perfect.
Perfect. Okay. What was your role in this episode? I played the road. She's said to look bewildered regardless of if she's jumping on the car or seen standing in the street, which I think makes a lot of sense. She's acting bewildered.
Yes, absolutely.
She can sometimes present with a small white dog, which is interesting to me because why?
Is it the what is it called?
Familiar?
Yes, maybe it's her familiar. If she
she's a
was known
witch.
as a witch.
Okay, it could be that. But interestingly, the dog only appears when she's seen at the South Mountain location, which, are these the same spirits then? If the presentation is different, only at one location, how do we know that they're the same?
Right.
What if it's just two women in white that like to jump on cars?
That's fair.
One has a dog, one doesn't.
Because the only thing that I could think of is that one location is significant to her and the other one is significant in a different way. Like if, like, I don't know if like the oh gosh, what was the second one?
South Mountain.
The South Mountain one where the dog appears. Is that where she practiced her craft?
Yeah.
Versus like Pond Lake, maybe that's where she residentially lived. I don't know if, I mean, normally, assumedly, people practice their craft like in their homes, but we don't know. Maybe there was like a separate spot for her, but that's really the only thing that I could think of because, yeah, what if it is two different people?
Mm-hmm. But I don't know, maybe the locals know something we don't. So, who is she? And why does she have a dog sometimes? According to the Franklin County Historical Society, local legend holds that she is a ghost woman looking for a lost child or a lover who drowned, or even a drowning victim herself, which is three very different things.
Yes.
It's so funny researching this because it's like, and she can appear two different ways, and even when she does appear in the same location, her behavior can be different, and it's any of these three possibilities. And I'm like, are you guys all talking about the same thing?
Yeah, what if that lends itself to your theory that maybe there's two?
Yeah. Or three. But based on the historical records, apparently there was a young mother that drowned herself and her child in the area in the early 1900s.
That's very sad.
That is very sad. But that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The dog still doesn't fit in.
No.
And I don't know why, but I keep picturing like a white Yorkie. Like, did you ever read the Macduff books?
No, but I am also picturing a white, like, little fluff dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, okay, I did say small white dog, so that does make sense because what are other small dogs? Because I was like, why aren't we but it's not even like a mini poodle or anything.
No.
It's like fluffy.
Yes.
I don't know why. Anyways, some say that this haunting dates back to 1952 when two teenagers started the story as a prank.
Oh.
Allegedly, they dressed up a dummy and tied it so it would swoop down on passing cars, striking the windshields. That's the correct reaction. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You're just out here causing accidents for no reason.
Right. And again, they're teenagers.
Yep.
So, teenagers aren't the brightest at the time. No offense to any teenagers who listen. It's not that I think that you're not bright. Maybe that's not the way to put it. Maybe a better way to put it is that sometimes teenagers do things that we as adults might think are illogical.
Correct. And also, maybe things were just really different in the 50s.
Right.
Like, this was a way to have fun. Maybe?
No one had cell phones, so
Feels risky.
it is that's so risky. Although the explanation does make sense to me. I could absolutely see this starting as a prank.
Yeah. And so now people are saying it happened so many times, locals would be like, oh my gosh, something struck my windshield. Here's my thought, okay? Debunking that this is just a prank. If you were pranked in the 50s, so, okay, let's say you're driving your car, something white hits your windshield, looks like a person, you're stopping your car and getting out. Who is going to continue driving? And if you're stopping your car and getting out, you'll be able to see it's a dummy.
Right. Right.
So maybe that just happened so much they were like, oh, watch out for the white lady of Pond Bank, in quotes for those listening, not watching.
Yeah.
And then this became a paranormal story associated with it. But there's no way that in the 50s this would happen with a dummy and you actually think it's a ghost.
Well, right. Because one, okay, if something jumps on the hood of your car and dissipates, right, as a spirit would, assumedly, then you could theoretically say to yourself, okay, I don't know what that was. A flash of light, whatever. If a dummy hits your car, it's going to make a thump.
Right?
You're going to feel like you hit a person. So
that's what I was thinking.
I can't imagine that I would hope that people wouldn't just drive off. I mean, even if it was the dead of night and I was terrified, if I felt like I hit someone, I would not drive away.
Yeah, and would it crack your windshield? Maybe.
Honestly, yeah, because at that point, I mean, I don't know what the dummies were made of, but they were like, things were solid back then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But also windshields were solid back then. I was thinking about that because, like, thick, I don't know.
Yeah, fair.
So, I don't know if I buy that this came from the dummy thing. Some additional claims about the haunting are that she's glowing and she will leave handprints on your car if she touches it.
Ooh, that's cool.
I know, it's kind of weird though. Like
Definitely
glowing
weird.
handprint.
Yeah.
Or some people say the handprints look like burns.
Oh, well, hopefully that doesn't, like, represent any pain or anything that she's feeling.
Or how permanent is it? Like, is your car permanently have handprint on it, or is it like a time thing?
Right.
You know?
Like, can you wash it off? Yeah.
She said to howl and cry if you get out of your car and try to interact with her.
That would terrify me.
Right?
Because then I would be like, oh no, I've hit a person and now I don't even know how to handle this situation.
But what if you didn't hit her? You just saw her standing, got out of your car, and she was howling or crying. Then what?
Ooh.
Then would you get back in your car? Because I sure think I would.
Yeah, I would.
I'd be like,
I'd be like, I just drive past real slow, like, sorry. Gotta go.
You good?
I'd call the cops though, just so we're
would,
clear.
yeah.
I would definitely call the cops. Maybe I would even like stop a little far up the road.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't want to be right next to her. I think that would freak me out a little bit. So yeah, not a total abandonment, but I would be like keeping my distance for sure.
Yes. And something that's interesting about this is within the last 30 years, reports have really increased. Now, also within the past 30 years, the internet has gotten easier to access. So I'm kind of attributing it to that. Because before, if you were just passing through and this happened to you, you'd probably be like, holy crow, this is really weird.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue on my way. But now you can like post about it, tag the area.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm kind of attributing to that. I don't think that it's necessarily like an anniversary of something happening or, you know, where we would see increased paranormal activity for those reasons.
Right.
Some people say that seeing her means that someone in your life will die or you yourself will have an accident soon.
Well, that's... Ooh.
I know.
I don't like that.
I know, and it's weird because this is such a twist to me on the like woman in white concept because they're normally very passive, very sad spirits. This is like an angry, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna mess up your day.
If this individual was in fact a practicing witch, then what, like, do we know how? Well, okay, no, you said earlier that like we don't really know who it was for sure.
Yeah.
But like if she was an older witch who was killed on suspicions of being a witch, right? Then I could almost imagine her being in white because she's like missing her life. Like in this case, it's not missing like anything material or a person, but like her missing out on her life and is angry.
It could be that. And we do know that there were witch trials in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So that could be the case. But it's interesting, the witch claim, because she doesn't do anything like witchy per se. She just acts like a regular spirit.
Yeah.
I guess maybe this part's a little like witchy potentially, because like, oh, she put a hex on you, you're gonna die.
Oh, that part definitely is.
But I don't know, because there's been other spirits where if you see them, it's a bad omen. So I don't know about the witch claim.
Yeah.
Seems like someone could just be labeling this aggressive female spirit as a witch just because.
Oh, yep. That's a very good point. And we obviously don't want to prescribe to that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would need more information. Unless there is documentation that she was like, there was a woman accused of witchcraft in the area, then it's okay. But
yeah.
There's so many unknowns in this story. Why does she present in multiple locations? Why does she present different ways? Did she drown herself? Is she finding someone that's drowning? Is it a child? Or is it a lover? I don't know.
Yeah.
But knowing what you do about the White Lady of Pond Bank, would you visit this area?
Well, I was going to say yeah. I was going to say yes, because I do feel if we were in a car, I would feel safer knowing that if we encountered her, we would still be in the car. Like, it wouldn't be like any one of us needed to get out or anything. So I was going to say yeah, but the whole, like, you're going to get into an accident or someone you know is going to die soon is terrifying. I never want to know that stuff. I do not want to know when I'm going to die. So I don't know now.
Yeah, I would think no. I don't want to encounter her. I think it's too risky. I would be too freaked out. There's the likelihood that regardless of anything to do with the spirit harming me, I cause myself harm because I freak out and like hit a tree.
Oh, I get
So I think it's just too risky. I don't think she is looking to communicate, so I don't think there's anything we could really do to, investigate here.
Yeah.
I think it's just all negative, which is something I very rarely say about our haunted locations. But I think this one comes with very, very real risk.
Yeah, I agree. And it almost scares me as like if you have to drive on this road just to get to where you're going. Like, we have the option to not go. But like, what if you need to go there to like get to where you live or like go to the grocery store? Yeah. Like, I would be terrified every time I drove down that road.
Yeah, me too. So I would not like to encounter her. But thank you to Erin Eckel for telling us to look into this story, because it's a super interesting one. And if you have a local legend or a local haunted location you want us to investigate, you can always reach out to us on socials. You can email us at paranormalinpennsylvania@gmail.com. And we love to look into them, especially if you've had a paranormal experience. I love when people comment like, oh my gosh, I used to work at this haunted location. It's so cool to hear like the small stories.
Yeah.
So definitely reach out to us. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Tune in next Thursday to see what history and hauntings we discuss next. Stay spooky, my friends.